Live. How are you doing? Good morning. It's 5:57. This is the 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show. Hope you're doing well. It is Friday. Yay! Goofy. I just got dizzy there. Sorry we're late. Trying to reboot the system because I started it up about 10 minutes ago and it didn't want to do anything. So I just restarted the whole computer from scratch, got back up to where we're at so that YouTube is working. It was kind of acting really weird. So sometimes one thing I learned to work in IT, sometimes you just got to restart the whole show. Every once in a while it needs to be done. So this is a flag that Eddie made for the show. It says 5 a.m. Mester Scrum. Pretty cool, huh? So I got to put that up on the wall or something like that. I don't know. But he made a little flag the other day. So that's good. I want to show that off so Eddie's work gets out there. And I didn't do the intro, did I? So this is the 228th episode. And here we talk about Agile and Scrum in a practical and tactical way. So you can get home to your family and friends so you can have some fun, do some side gigs, work in the community, get some good karma going there. And also to bring value to the customer. You know, when we work better, we get more value to the customer. And then do it in a way that we're not working 80-hour days or 80-hour weeks or whatever. And have a little fun along the way. You know, you got to have some fun. People always want to work, no fun. Sometimes you got to take it easy. You learn that from people who've been working for a long time. They teach you little things about having a little fun as you go, and it's not all crazy. There's some people think you should be working 24/7. I disagree. Anyway, went to the Philadelphia Flower Show yesterday, and guy was handing out some butterfly wildflower seed packets, so I took that. And the reason why I brought that up, I posted up a little TikTok video. Still experimenting with TikTok, having some fun. And just to remind you, and one of the topics we'll talk about, daylight savings time. So we'll talk about that today. And then having daily Scrum become like second nature. There's a couple of topics on that and how that goes along. And we'll go from there. So anyway, it is daylight savings times. Just so we'll go into that. So we're going to talk about daily savings time. Impact on daily Scrum, and that's something you don't get in the class, right? You know, and it's part of facilitating when we talk about that, the ATF. So now all my little pop-ups for the computer are starting to pop through the screen as we're doing the show because it's distracting off to the side. Anyway, I got a cat over here that's cuddled up next to me because she ate, and it's Friday. Oh. And we're going to do Fortune Cookie Friday. Yay! So don't forget Fortune Cookie Friday. We're going to do that. It'll be the third thing. I'll try to keep it short because we did start up late and I want to get this done before the boy comes down here and creates havoc. So daylight savings time. So that's coming up this weekend, and it's one of the biggest change and issue causers in daily Scrum, because we usually do our morning meetings in the morning, right? And if you have distributed teams that are scattered across time zones, and some time zones do and sometimes don't take an account daylight savings time. So spring's here. Make sure you cover that with your teams. It does cause trouble. But as we teach here, the ones that impacts the most, in my opinion, are the teams that depend on a computer system to share what they did for daily Scrum. And what we talk about here every day is to make Scrum, I'm getting attacked by a cat. Ow. You make Scrum and daily Scrum as light as possible on everybody. Ow. I am totally being eaten. Bubbles, jeez, what are you doing? She decided she was going to attack me. And make sure that it's not over some burdensome, not a lot of overhead, and you get good conversation. And the idea is that if you're only doing 2 or 3 things a day, you can write on a little piece of paper. You do not need a computer system to share what everybody's doing. And if you do all the things, like if you do sprint planning, everyone will know, right? Because we all talked about what work. You got a sprint goal, you got everything going, and it should be light and not so bad. Like I said, the teams that really get impacted are the ones that have to share a screen, because then people have to get up earlier or later, depending where we are on daylight savings time. I think the East Coast loses an hour of sleep this weekend. Oh, great. Which I think makes it closer. I don't know, makes it easier. It makes it a little bit easier over in like India, offshore, so it changes everything by an hour. But if you depend and live and die by the computer system, then you'll live and die by the computer system. And that rolls into the next topic, becoming second nature. I'm going to spend most of the time just like on the Daily Scrum, because I really hone on this. I had a Scrum Master here today. Why are you always on the Daily Scrum? And then he got it the other day. He's like, now I get why you're always on the Daily Scrum and why you really hone in on that. Because it's the way your team interacts with each other. It's the key to how the interaction happens throughout the rest of the day with your team. The more you get to that interaction, the better the rest of the day works. And your job as a Scrum Master is much easier, right? That you center everything around the Daily Scrum. And people don't get that. They don't teach you this in the class. It's not taught in the class. It's taught in real life and being observant of what happens. But Daily Scrum is where everything centers around. The other stuff are on the ends, but Daily Scrum is everything, right? And try to make it as natural as possible. We talked about that. Just having a little piece of paper, you're just talking about. But there was also it was really good breakthrough. Like yesterday, the team really got it, what Daily Scrum was about. And my goal, and we talked about this, Scrum Masters should be working themselves out of a job for Daily Scrum. If you do it for 30 days, that's 30 opportunities for them to learn how to do Daily Scrum right. You should be done. You should be out. You should be just on the peripherals, making sure that you promote doing more facilitation on the outside of Daily Scrum. Making sure people are announcing to their teammates when they're blocked, putting feelers out there before Daily Scrum, not during Daily Scrum, right? Watching how the interaction. If you don't see someone announce a block or an issue that that's there, make sure you reach back around them. After Daily Scrum, reach back and say, is there anything I can do? I heard you say what you said today. Is there anything I can do to help? That's outside of Daily Scrum, not in there. But make it natural. And it really was nice in this one session I sat in on. And a lot of times I'm just listening. And then I reach back to the Scrum Master and some leads and people and the whole team when they do really well. It was a really great example of a Daily Scrum where two developers were going to upload some new code, and they wanted to clear with everybody what they were doing so it wouldn't impact what they were working on code-wise, because it was going to take the system down for a little bit from a development perspective, and they didn't want to make sure they had conflicting code. And it was a great example of them checking with their teammates, and their teammates going, no, I'm good. I'm not really, I don't need it now, and I should be good. And if you're going to take it down, take it down, and have that conversation during Daily Scrum. That is what Daily Scrum is about. It's not necessarily the 3 questions. It's not what I necessarily did yesterday, what I'm going to do today, what's blocking me. Sometimes it's part of that interaction. Hey, our plan is to take the system down. We wanted everybody to know, is there any issues that impacts anybody else before we do that? That's not the 3 questions, but that's what Daily Scrum's about. But it was short and brief on what they do, and they quickly assessed there wouldn't be an impact, and everybody had the green light. And that's what you're supposed to do in Daily Scrum. It wasn't textbook, because that wasn't the 3 questions, but it was the perfect Daily Scrum. So you got to get your teams in a position where they're comfortable with that variation as they need it, right? And then you go back to the typical 3 questions. But sometimes you need that massive interaction. So that's Daily Scrum. And I think with that, we're going to keep going. But, if you like our show, hit the little bell, like us, subscribe to us, share here at the 5amMesterScrum Show. We're now going to do the Fortune Cookie Friday. Yay! Bubbles. Are you done attacking me? Huh? What's wrong? Oh, did you have a nightmare? Poor cat's sleeping. Okay, we're going to do the Fortune Cookies Friday. And we're going to open this up. I probably just crinkled all over the microphone. Sorry about that. Fortune cookie. What we do is we open it up. We read the fortune. There is a fortune in here. And we see how we might apply this fortune to Agile and Scrum to see what it says. So let's see. Here we go. Ooh, here we go. Benefit by doing things that others give up on. Benefit by doing things that others give up on. This is talking about the Scrum Master. This is the Scrum Master's job. You benefit by doing things that others give up on. So Scrum Masters, right? Your job is to get rid of impediments and blockers to the team. The reason why they're blockers is that maybe the team gave up on it and they need help. And your job is to come in and help. So you benefit. That's your job. That's your main role, right? Is to make sure things keep moving. So when people give up on it, your job is to encourage them to go and engage with the team, right? So they kind of gave up, but you encourage people to get together to work on. So that, to me, that's a good example of how that would apply to Scrum in a Scrum Master's role. The other thing is, just one other thing that's not that so much, but getting out there and doing stuff. Sometimes things take a little bit of time to catch on, and you have to keep pushing for it. The show we're on 228 show. Some people can give up on it, but I'm like, yeah, this is great. I'm gonna keep going. So a little bit of that on the 5am Mester Scrum Show. So this applies to Scrum Masters and me as the host of 5am Mester Scrum, and we will adapt. Benefit by doing things that others give up on. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, have a great day. Happy Friday. Enjoy your day. Don't forget to have some fun over the weekend. 3 questions. What was your last fun thing? What fun thing are you going to do? And what's blocking you from having fun? And with that, I'm going to say goodbye because I hear footsteps. And we're going to end the show before he comes. See you later. Happy scrumming. Take care. Bye.